Hey all, welcome to another video. Today Maya and I will unbox latest Invictus Parfum. We will share our first impressions. We're going to give it a good old rating. We'll compare it to Victory Elixir, and we'll come back later to see how we feel about it if we changed our opinion. Let's get to it. Right, let's unbox this one. Do you want to do the honors?
Okay, why not?
So looking at the box, any opinions, any idea what can be inside?
It doesn't reveal it's a masculine fragrance. I would say it's very Invictus on brand box.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look inside.
What's inside?
What's inside?
Oh, it's actually gold.
Right. That is looking very nice. What do we think?
Oh, the bottle looks really nice. It's actually lighter than I would expect from like a glass bottle with like a it's probably, yeah, it's plastic, so it's not the metal. Yeah. So when I looked on the bottle, I thought actually it would be metal, quite heavy, but actually it's pretty light. Yeah,
it looks like some kind of jewelry with the cuts on the glass itself. So radiant color, very, very nice. And obviously the style of the bottle, typical to the Invictus line. So no surprise there. But no, very nice bottle in my opinion. Actually,
yeah, the shape of the shape of the glass part is actually different, unique. Yeah, nice. Very
nice and quite sharp and edgy.
Yeah, and the colors, match together really nicely. Yeah, it's not a very like a yellow gold. It's a very delicate, so it really goes nicely with the gradient.
Super. Right, so let's test it out. So, for you.
Thank you.
We're going to do it on the hand as well, so we can have a bit of a comparison on the skin. And we will rate the fragrance right now. Okay, so what do we think about this one?
It's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah.
I can smell a few different things at the same time. So my initial, like the first thing that came to my mind was something quite sweet, powdery, but then I could smell something more herbal, like medicine almost, like herbs used in like medications that you are just rubbing on your chest so that you can breathe the vapors. So it's actually, it's quite herbal. It's nice, it's actually pleasant, and I would say the sweetness and the freshness is actually quite well balanced. Yeah. It's more prominent on your skin, like the floral notes, the herbal.
No,
but it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I would definitely agree on this medicine-like note in there. Something kind of chemical to some kind of extent, but
okay.
I have to say I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
It is a slightly different, very, very surprising. Knowing Invictus when it kind of is very loud initially and very sweet and just punchy. This one is a bit more round, if I can say. But there's a lot of things going on in my opinion. It's not just one theme in it. Yeah. There's a lot of things, different layers straight away. So I think it's going to be evolving the longer we're going to be wearing on the skin. For me, there is something soapy in it as well. It is
like. For me, it was something powdery, but now when you mention soapy, it does have something like also like a shower gel or something. Yeah, there is a shower gel that it has a very similar note. It also reminds me of like a smell you can sometimes find in spa when you're approaching spa, and they are using like different like a natural cosmetics on you. For like a massage or something, it has something similar, like a spa note.
So yeah, no, I absolutely I agree there.
But it's also fresh, even though it has that kind of like a powdery something. It is also fresh. It's not overwhelming, I would say.
It's very, as we already said, quite round and quite balanced, but it's a lot going on in there. So we can literally venture in different routes, and we can see that, and we can sense that different things in it. So look on the hand. So
different than the paper actually.
Say something potentially even aquatic, some kind of marine-like, because if you're saying about the spa, potentially like a bit of a like a salt with some kind of herbal minerals in there, but it is very fresh, very aromatic. Is it woody a bit? Yeah, I don't know if the herbals are actually mixing with something woody in it, because there is a bit of a layer of something a bit more kind of heavier, denser in there to me. But what are we thinking? What would be the perfect time for it? Would it be day, night?
I think evening. For me, it would be evening, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could be wearing this, like, as you said, through the day, just taking it to the office or wearing it in the office, because it might be a bit too heavy, but yet still very fresh, very clean, aromatic, a bit soapy, a bit definitely sweet.
It's really hard to judge it and actually decide what's the best. As a first impression, it's really hard to say. I think it would be nice to see how it performs for some time to actually put it in like specific box.
No, I agree, and it's going to be very important to kind of just test it through the week. Yeah,
it's literally changing every time I try it again. It's pretty consistent on your hand.
So we would think like slightly for the evenings. What season? Or would you say that?
I can't say specific season. For me, it's all year round, I would say.
All year round.
Yeah, I can imagine this on like a summer evening or a winter day as well, potentially.
Because it's not extremely heavy. It's light, it's fresh, but it's sweet.
Yeah.
There is something kind of more prominent and more dark under there as well.
Maybe because I can smell so many different things, I can see those specific things during different times and occasions. That's why it's so hard, like initially, to put it in one sort of like a season or occasion or time of a day.
I agree. Well, okay, so let's have a look how we actually rated it. So what did you rate it?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Very, very interesting. Okay. I did 6, because I'm not entirely sure just yet to kind of pinpoint it and just say I really like it. I'm literally, I don't know. I think it's definitely unique. It's something that I don't think I smelled before from Invictus line, specifically from Invictus line, but even from other brands, I'm not entirely sure if I smelled something similar to this one. But it is an interesting one. It will be very, very interesting to see, to compare it a week later, if it's going to be developing better or how it's going to be performing throughout the day. So now let's have a look what's actually in it, so we can have a bit of a better understanding what's in there if we actually guessed what's in there. So main ones, you're going to have the aromatics, so musky, marine, soapy, powdery, woody, lavender, aquatic, ozonic.
Or maybe that was the lavender.
Yeah,
that herbal, like medicine something.
Yeah, okay. No, it could be that. Yeah, the herbal touch of that. So yeah, definitely aromatic, musky, marine. I think we did say that because there was some kind of
aquatic,
and soapy. Okay,
yeah,
and even you said powdery as well to some kind of extent. So soapy, powdery. There is a note in it. So now let's go through the breakdown of the notes. So on top notes, we've got marine notes, lavender and pink pepper. I'm not sure if there's anything kind of spicy initially in there, but definitely marine notes and lavender. Middle notes, we have soap, violet leaf, and myrtle. Okay, so yet again, some kind of like herbal, actually a bit more masculine notes, but yet again soapy, as we already agreed. And base notes, we have musk, cashmeran, and sandalwood. So this heavier line, the base is definitely a bit darker and heavier, which I could initially scent it, but definitely the soapiness, the marineness, and the sweetness comes kind of first. But I can't see too much sweetness in there, but there is still the classic Invictus in there, just hiding somewhere on the between layers of all of those ingredients. But very interesting one. Okay, so I know we said we're gonna just quickly compare it to the Victory Elixir. You actually tried it. We tested this
we did.
one. Do you remember what you rated last time?
It was something around 5, I believe. 5, 6.
Yeah.
No, I think 5. Yeah, because it was quite sweet. I remember. I think it was like a pineapple or pina colada, something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try it out. I'm gonna put it on my skin, and we'll put it on the strip as well. Oh, that goes in a different direction straight away.
So sweet.
Absolutely. Right, so we've got one here. Let's just put them side by side.
It's too sweet, I have to say. I mean, personally,
Have a look on there.
very, very sweet.
Yeah, and if you have to choose between these two, then let's go. Okay, straight away, not even checking it.
Yeah, like right now I can smell that this one is also a little bit like sweet, but it's well balanced with the other notes, with something more herbal, fresh, more masculine. So I would say personally I do prefer this one.
No, I have to agree as well. Unfortunately, this one doesn't perform as well, even though it's an elixir. I would expect slightly more from it. After a while of wearing it, like for the day, the fruitiness, the vanilla in it, goes slightly sour, and I was thinking how to kind of phrase it, but if you would have the pina colada drink, you would leave it on the sun for like a couple hours, you come back to it, and it is kind of starting to ferment a bit, so like a bit of alcohol in there, so the whole process of fermentation just begins. That's what it reminds me after wearing a couple hours. So yeah, not necessarily a fan of something like that. But I know how popular this is. I know everybody's rating it quite well. I think this one's going to take the crown.
I think if someone really like, and if someone is really into something sweet, they will be happy with this one. But personally, because I prefer fresher scents, that's why this one is for me the winner.
Oh, super. Okay, now we're going to move into the future and we'll see how we feel about this one. And we are back almost a month later. We wanted to do it sooner, however, we didn't manage. So we actually had some more time with the fragrance, almost a month, I think, roughly. But we could experience a bit more. We could, sometimes it's better to kind of spend some more time on the fragrance. So what do we think about this one now?
I still do like it very much.
Okay.
It's a very pleasant smell. I have to say that it's one of those that definitely smells slightly different on a paper strip than on your hand, and it's more enjoyable on your skin, I would say. I have to say it's still quite sweet and fresh. It's well balanced in that kind of area, but it also gives kind of like a soapy cosmetic note. And I have to say, especially on your skin, like after some time, after it evaporates, it gives me that kind of unique like lash scent. So when you're entering lash store, it has that signature scent, like hits you straight away when you enter the shop. It has something like it on the skin when it's projecting from the skin.
Lashes, if you don't know, if you live outside of the UK, is a very well-known brand. Actually, in our area, it's very, very popular. It's natural cosmetics. It's all natural ingredients. Handmade, yes. Fair.
It has a very unique, like, special scent to it. Of course, they do like different products with a different scent, but whenever you're entering the shop, you are hit by the same, like a very unique, characteristic scent. So
what that says as well, it's as we discussed on the previous kind of part, that it evolves. There's so many layers in it. For me, it has two significant phases. When it starts, when you spray the first, it is very very sweet, but there is some kind of fruit in there that is just slightly off-putting to me. It is some kind of like a bit of a sour fruit or something that is really just not nice. So the first phase, I'm not a big fan. It projects well for about 2 hours, nothing enormous, because normally Invictus is kind of straight out there. But this one is slightly more subtle, it is slightly more kind of tamed, if you would say. However, it's still projecting quite okay for the first 2 hours. But then when we move to the second phase, the kind of sweetness for me and this kind of some kind of fruit in there just fades away a bit, and more woody, masculine parts are coming out, and they are very almost sparkly. There's some kind of like a very fizzy smell in there, but it is so much more fresh than the first phase, for me at least. And then the woody part comes out more prominently. So I really like the second part, the second phase of the fragrance, and it does evolve as we discussed. It changes with time. After that, it just settles a bit more, and it's more a skin scent. So it's not like a beast in terms of performance, but it is a very pleasant and enjoyable fragrance. And I'm very surprised actually with this one that how much it changes with time, and it just constantly kind of reminds you it's there, but it's not kind of overpowering, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree with you, and especially at the beginning, it's like very sweet. Like straight when you spray it, it's very sweet, but then after time, it's more clean and fresh, and it's very pleasant. Like at least for me.
Oh, super. Oh, so how did we rate this one finally? So the final score.
So the previous was 7, the new one is 8.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's why in time it actually changes, and on your skin it's way more pleasant than actually on the paper strip. So yeah, 8 out of 10 now. Fair
enough. Okay, well, I did increase mine as well. So I started with 6 initially, and then I moved it now to 7. It is a very nice, very enjoyable scent to wear.
Yeah.
You're still going to get about 7 or 8 hours of scent on the skin. However, it just settles down a bit. It is just more a skin scent. However, it is a very surprising scent that we said is better than the Victory Elixir, and potentially one of the best Invictus in my opinion at the moment. So yeah, a very good scent for us, and you specifically like it as well because you increased it to about 8. So you really enjoy it. Okay, well, there we have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. So if you want to see more of content like this, please hit the subscribe button and like this video, and we see you in the next one. See ya.
Bye.